Ryan was like most of us. He had big dreams, big goals, and every morning, he promised himself that today would be different. Today, I will be productive. Today, I will work hard. But as soon as he woke up, he reached for his phone. A quick check of social media turned into an hour of scrolling. His to-do list sat untouched on his bedside table, yet he felt no urgency. He told himself he would get to it later. By the afternoon, Ryan found himself on the couch, watching TV, his book sitting beside him unopened. He felt a pang of guilt. He should be doing something more productive, yet distractions always won. As the days passed, his frustration grew. One evening, he sat in a coffee shop, staring at his cold coffee, feeling like a failure. Why can't I stay focused? Why do I waste so much time? Just then, an old professor, Mr. Thompson, walked in and noticed the troubled look on Ryan's face. He approached with a kind smile and said, "You seem lost in thought." Ryan sighed and admitted, "I have so much I want to do, but I never get anything done." The professor nodded knowingly and sat down. "I think I can show you something that might help." From his bag, he pulled out a clear glass jar and placed it on the table. Then, he brought out several large stones and a bowl of sand. Ryan looked at him, confused. "This jar," Mr. Thompson began, "represents your time. The stones represent the most important things: your health, your career, your dreams. The sand? That's all the small distractions, social media, TV, things that don't really matter in the long run." Then, he handed the jar to Ryan. "Go ahead, try filling it." Ryan first poured the sand in, filling the jar nearly to the top. Then, he tried to fit the large stones inside, but they didn't fit. He frowned. "There's no room left for my goals." Mr. Thompson simply smiled, emptied the jar, and tried again. This time, he placed the large stones inside first. Then he poured the sand over them, and the sand smoothly filled the small gaps between the stones. "Do you see?" the professor asked. "If you let distractions consume your time first, your goals won't fit. But if you focus on the big things first, the small stuff will always find its place." Ryan's eyes widened. This was exactly his problem. He had been filling his life with distractions first, mindless scrolling, endless TV shows, things that felt urgent but weren't truly important. No wonder his big goals never seemed to fit. That night, Ryan made a decision. No more wasted time. No more excuses. It's time to prioritize what truly matters. The next morning, instead of reaching for his phone, he got out of bed and went for a jog. The fresh air filled his lungs as he felt a newfound energy. Instead of checking notifications, he sat down at his desk, focused and determined to make progress. His workspace was neat, his mind clear. At night, instead of turning on the TV, he picked up a book, immersing himself in knowledge that helped him grow. As time went on, he ignored unnecessary phone notifications and social media distractions. He built the discipline to focus on what truly mattered. It wasn't easy. The pull of old habits was strong. There were days he felt like giving up, days when the temptation to waste time was overwhelming. But he reminded himself of the jar. He reminded himself of the stones. He made small choices every day, and slowly, those choices turned into habits. His mornings became sacred, dedicated to exercise, meditation, and focused work. He started setting daily goals, and for the first time, he stuck to them. He no longer felt overwhelmed because he wasn't trying to do everything at once. He prioritized. He structured his time. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but little by little, Ryan became the person he had always wanted to be. He found more energy, more clarity, and more fulfillment in his daily life. The people around him started noticing the change. He was more confident, more disciplined, more driven. His work improved. His relationships improved. And most importantly, he improved. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Ryan was no longer the same person. He was healthier, more confident, and in control of his time. One day, he stood outside a modern office building, looking at how far he had come. He had turned his dreams into reality. As a reminder of the lesson that changed his life, he kept a small glass jar on his desk, filled with large stones first, then sand. a symbol of the mindset that led to his success. Now let me ask you, what are you putting in your jar? Are you filling it with distractions, letting the small things take up all your time? Or will you put your most important goals first and let the rest fall into place? You see, life is a collection of choices. Every day, you have the power to decide what matters most. The problem isn't that we don't have enough time. It's that we don't use our time wisely. It's easy to get lost in distractions, to tell ourselves that we'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes unless we make the choice today. If you want to change your life, you don't have to wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Choose what matters. Build discipline. Take action. And step into the life you were meant to live. The choice is yours. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful life lessons. See you in the next video.